Hey Emily, which painting did you pick?
Oh, I chose the record of the Maoyan Monastery. Which one did you choose?
Oh, I chose Water Village. They're both from Zhao Mingfu.
Cool. And they're both on a hand scroll. Did you know that hand scrolls are a private form of art?
Yeah. And calligraphy is the highest form of painting, right? Zhao Mingfu was famous for his calligraphy, and the two paintings we chose, they both have calligraphy on it.
Yeah, I totally noticed that.
Hey, let's look at your painting first.
Okay, so the record of the Maoyan Monastery is basically a bunch of calligraphy,
Mhm.
and the calligraphy is based on the history of the Buddhist monastery near Zhao Mingfu's hometown.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see that the most obvious features are the three different styles of writing.
Yeah, they are there's the artistic writing style, there's the standard modern style, and there is the seal script style.
And that's the seal script, right? It looks like alien symbols.
Yeah, they are. Basically, it's just symbols, and they get their form based on the nature. So, like, if the word is for sun, right? Then they will get like the shape of the sun that people normally see. Also, for other words like your mouth, it's like this. So then the word is like this. It's basically just depicting what they see.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the standard script evolves from the ancient seal script writing that you see right here. It's the title,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it symbolizes the strictly structured society in Chinese culture because everything has an order. There's an order for you to act, and there's like a hierarchy system.
Mm. It's very neat. I guess that's what it means.
Yeah, like when you write, you have to write it in neat order fashion. You can't just have it all sloppy. Then
Right.
that wouldn't really be art for calligraphy wise.
Of
Also,
course.
like many students and people, they practice calligraphy a lot, so they perfect their skills. That's why it's so neat and like almost every word, if
Mm-hmm.
they duplicate it, they look exactly the same.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like it's been typed or something.
I know, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Also, the standard script right now is still used in modern times, so it shows how it lasted all the way from back then in the Yuan Dynasty, and it's still used today in China and Hong Kong, in the newspapers, everywhere.
Yeah, they look very familiar. How come these are smaller and curvier?
Oh, because that's the artistic writing. So sometimes people they like to write it really fast. So when you write
Mm-hmm.
it really fast, like the brush tip sort of drags and then just makes all the strokes connect to each other. So
Yeah.
that's why they all seem like curves.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I
oh,
can see that.
yeah. This also reminds me of the Jackson Pollock exhibit next door. Cause
Oh, I
you know
love
how,
that. I love that exhibit.
yeah, cause in his paintings he just like puts his whole body movement in it and just like moves his arm with the paint.
Right, and like his
Yeah.
paintings like all connected in a way.
Yeah, so there's sort of like a resemblance between them.
Right. I see.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Uh huh.
You know how the Yuan dynasty was a transition period from the Song dynasty to the Mongol regime?
Mhm.
You would think that when someone draws a painting at that time, it will be very out of order and unstable and chaotic in a way, but
Yeah.
this calligraphy is very stable, you know? What can you say about that?
Well, first of all, I guess it's neat because that's how they, write it back then.
Mm-hmm.
But then also because it could represent Zhao Mingfu's ideal society. Like when there's
Mm-hmm.
chaos and like all those conflicts between two different cultures, nobody wants that. Like so he's trying to depict like how he wants like a concrete one custom where everything's peaceful. As like how in the painting, the calligraphy is like in order. So they want order to society, want everything just to be normal.
Talking about order, I see that even the stamps are placed very neatly on the painting. There are names of the scholars and artists who saw the painting, right?
Yeah, each stamp has like their last name. Like usually it's the bigger character's last name, and then they
Mm-hmm.
have their two, the middle and the last part of their name, and the side. So yeah. Okay, so each stamp is delicately carved, and it could be made out of wood, rubber, all sorts of materials that like, just has to be hard that it can stamp on. Like, they just roll paint on the bottom, and then so also, besides the different materials it can be made out of, there's also different size. I believe that the different size, like how some stamps are bigger than the other.
Yeah.
I think it might be because of their status, and also because like if you're richer, right? Then you have more money to afford a bigger
Right.
main piece. Yeah, so could be a wealth status and
And they're all in red. Do you know why?
because in the Chinese culture, red is a lucky color.
Of
Like
course.
in New Year's they always give red envelopes
Yeah.
and people like to wear red. Okay, now let's talk about the Water Village painting.
Okay.
So I noticed that the painting is very long and it seems like it never ends and it's all just scenery.
Yeah. The never-ending feature is supposed to represent the vast nature, I think, and it's obvious that the painting is very nature focused.
Oh. Okay, so for the previous calligraphy painting, like I know that I have to start looking and reading from the right side of the painting, but for this one, I have no idea where to focus on. It's all nature and it's all the same everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I meant by nature focused. And also, if you look at the ratio between the nature, like the mountains and the trees, to the human beings, if you look really closely, there are human beings in the picture, and the ratio is really big. People are very tiny, which may suggest that people are inferior when it comes to nature.
Oh, let me see. Oh my gosh, they are so tiny. It's like, where's Waldo? You gotta search for that little thing in this whole painting.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know how the name of this painting is called Water Village?
Yeah.
Yeah, this may suggest that nature has the power to determine the prosperity for the villagers.
What do you mean?
Like, there's this Chinese saying that the flow of wealth into a family is sort of like the flow of water. So that sort of shows that prosperity can come like that.
Right. And now that you mentioned wealth, you know how water is very crucial in agriculture, and back then, crops are practically your money. So, I guess you're right.
Yeah, because like if a storm comes in and destroys everything, then the people have nothing.
Right. Remember the ideal society you brought up when we're talking about the record of the Mayan monastery? I think this painting may be suggesting the same thing. It's giving out a very peaceful and calm mood, and it does seem like a very ideal society.
Oh yeah, that might be a recurring theme in his paintings. Like, really shows what he wants. This is not only what he wants. It's also like all the Chinese people are probably sick and tired of battling with the other people.
Yeah, constant fight over power.
Yeah, right. Nobody likes that.
Yeah. And the final aspect of this painting is the calligraphy on the top. The calligraphy goes vertical when the whole scroll and the painting itself is horizontal. Unlike the painting, which you can basically see from any point when you're opening up the scroll must be opened fully for you to fully understand the calligraphy. So it's a very distinct feature.
That's nice. Hey, so which one should we choose for the putting up on the wall?
I don't know. They're both very interesting. Why don't we just go ask our boss?
Okay, that sounds fair.
Yeah.